Yo, yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another stream. Today we're going to be working on the map that I've been working on for a while, but first we're going to finish our desert tiles. I thought I'd be doing some engine stuff with Vic today, but he was a sleepy boy, so that didn't end up happening. We'll have to do that another day. I'm hoping to do like somewhere between 3 and 4 of such streams per week so that we can get really consistent work done on it, but obviously it will depend on other people's availability. I also have to, at some point, dedicate some time to really studying up on Go so that I can be a bit of a... I can contribute to a higher degree, we'll say. Whereas right now I'm mostly just like fleshing out stuff that Vic throws down the framework for. I would like to be able to lay my own framework where necessary. So, based on that, I'm sure we'll be very busy later on. Let's jump into this again. So, yesterday I did a stream where I worked on these graphics, and one of the main takeaways of it was that the main cliffs got taken care of. I do very quickly want to compare the cliff side of things. Oh, did I not actually do these? Or maybe this might be the wrong one. Oh, here we go. So we have the cliff, and then we have the ramp, and for some reason they're in separate files. I guess in theory I can just copy the thing here. And voila! We have our stuff. Should be fine. Oh, except we need to copy the upper as well. There you go. Yeah, I think it's kind of done in a similar style, right? So, like, I don't see a very massive mismatch there. I think it would be worth approaching the ramps with maybe a bit more variety or something, but that will also make extension tiles a bit harder to produce. So, I don't know. I guess we'll just wait and see there. But I did want to just take a look and make sure that it was a similar style. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to bring the mask from, for example, this tile here. And, well, I'll just grab this, right? And then we'll go ahead and paste that there. Obviously, as you can see, the problem is that it intercepts part of the tile. So we'll copy this. But then the problem there is that we have to like manually show all of that. So, yeah, the question really is like, how do we do this efficiently? And I'm actually not 100% sure. I think that's fine, in theory. I think we could just copy this. And unfortunately, these tiles are mirrored in a really weird way, so we've done that. And then I guess I can take this. And then we can take this. Because that's what this is. There was some system that I developed a while back to mess around with this, but I don't remember what it was exactly. So I think we just slap this together here. Oh, there is a bit of an update on some of the other things. At the very least, we do have some progress made on a bit of the lag. side of things. I guess I'll just eat away at this a little bit and then switch over to here. So we will have some small changes there, but it's nothing major. Let's see what the lag update actually is. iCore's been hard at work trying to refactor enough of GPTP so that we can actually make our optimization improvements. With any luck, it won't be insanely difficult to do that. I wonder if I can use, like, the contiguous thing to... Oh yeah, it looks like I can. Maybe that's the way. If that works, anyway. I don't actually know that it will. Oops. I think I'm always going to need to do some, like, manual alterations, but... And that's why these are kind of more on the annoying side of things to assemble. Oh, and it looks like... This needs to be brought in as well. Makes sense. Let's see how we're checking out so far. We are going to also need to figure out a way to... Oh, I think I can do that easily enough. I'm going to need to figure out a way to mask out the upper part so that it doesn't impinge on the lower ground stuff. Maybe if I set this to contiguous, I can actually do that easily enough. Well, maybe not. Okay. Yeah, that's still a lot of manual work I'd rather not be doing. All right, well, we'll figure out a solution after we're actually done with the masking. For now, we'll just copy over this stuff since it seems to be done. Okay. Yeah, so there's 8 variants for those. It's not like a ridiculous amount of work, but it's a bit more than you might expect. Wow. Have I been pranked? Was this supposed to be this the whole time? Wait, what is this? Yeah, this is one of those things where it's just, like, impossible to place exactly what... I don't think these are sorted correctly in the first place. I think that's probably one of the issues. Like, it is sorted according to the North Cliff, but it's not sorted according to the South Cliff, which is pretty confusing. So what is this? Because I don't see anything here that matches. I actually don't see anything that matches this at all. All right, let's jump into the actual map and see what we can figure out here. All right, here's an example. This is apparently 1, 2, 3, 4. Which does match up with that. This is the last one, which matches up with that. This is the third one, which I guess does match up with that. It looks like they're slightly different than what they normally are. But it does seem to match up. So maybe I'm just misreading that here. Maybe that is what it's supposed to be. But this definitely seems messed up. The one that I've got in particular, anyway. It doesn't even look like this is the same tile at all, to be honest, but... Guess I'll just have, I'll go against my better judgment and have faith in the lard system. Veek has maintainer access. I guess I can probably grant you that. Give me a sec. If I can remember how to actually add members here. Oh, it looks like I can't invite you. Or maybe not. Hold on. I will search. Oh, wait. Yeah, I can. Oh, wait. Fuck. I didn't give you the right... Here we go. Upgrade you. Okay. Yeah, you should have access to it now. There's an email thing. Oops, that's not what I wanted. All right, sent it over for you. Yeah, welcome to C++, homie. No, I never bothered. I think I've technically tried it a few times, but not. I don't have exhaustive experience with it. To be honest, I think it would be easier for me to just manually make one instead of whatever the fuck I've been doing. Because these are like completely different. They've just made completely different tiles for the corner blends and stuff, the half pieces or whatever. Go seems to be pretty promising. Obviously, we don't know how good it'll perform until later, but by the looks of things, it's exactly what it says on the tin. In that it's supposed to be a replacement for C++. The fuck, dude. Nice software ammo. What the fuck, dude? Well, yeah, I wouldn't expect anybody to start working on projects in Antikythera until it's an actual engine. Right now, it's just a couple of Go files. What's up, Snowy Lee? Welcome. Yeah, I think the main roadblock for anything in the new engine or whatever, even right now, to be honest, is assets, right? It's visual assets. So, with any luck, we'll actually be able to convince some people to give it a try to make some 3D models or whatever. Veek was actually learning 3D modeling, but given that he's had to focus a bit on the programming side of things, that's clearly not a long-term thing or whatever. What's up, Alexander? These cliff tiles already exist in the current game, iQuare. The main issue is that the current ones are just really bad, so I'm putting them back together because it's quicker for me to remake them than it is to update or edit the old Photoshop file. I have misplaced this thing on the right, though, by 1 pixel, so I have to fix that in a second. Yeah, here goes. Let's hope so. Well, the only way to do it is to do it yourself until there's actual people who are interested, obviously. Oh, what did I just do? Why do I even have the United Kingdom? Oh. That's not good. Yeah, Veek slept. So I just figured I would. I was already planning on doing a stream of what do you call it? Of this, essentially. But I thought it would be after the engine stream. Yeah, that's what you said we should expect, right? So that's actually maybe not a grand success story, but it's something. In a way, we almost expected it to be something like that, I would imagine. Oh, did I miss this one somehow? I guess so. You should just keep testing it, I think. Feel free to commit it, but obviously, if you're expecting bugs, then we should verify that there are any. You have a plethora of actual test maps, so shouldn't be too difficult to... take like 10 minutes to test everything. I mean, I know you've been lacking in motivation a little bit lately, but come on. Extra 10 minutes isn't going to kill anybody, right? Unless you actually have something to do, of course, then it's understandable. That will do it for us here. We can just copy this whole layer. Mirror it. Oh, yeah, I guess I should actually redo this one. They're still trying to just copy and paste from above because that's what how most cliffs work, but not the desert ones. They're super special for some reason. Yeah, but the AI use behaviors all the time. And you also have the actual test map where you can just test every ability and behavior. Did you catch Knave's insane lard code, by the way, where the reason why basically Veek occasionally activates scroll lock on his computer sometimes in the middle of playing Hydra matches. And if scroll lock is on, then AI debug refuses to start the game because Knave. I'm not going to say I called it, but I still can't believe all the times that Veek had to restart his computer just because he obviously didn't have to, as we found out. He was pretty tilted when he discovered that a couple days ago. I unironically think that was one of the reasons why he was down to do some engine work, because I told him, I was like, yeah, how does it feel to work within Brood War? And he was like, fuck this. Wait, what? Oh, did this not get mirrored correctly or something? Oh, is this some kind of whack? What is this anyway? Oh my goodness. They actually have different subtiles depending on... Dude, what the fuck? Why is everything different? I think these are the same. Yeah, this secondary piece is the same. Because these are the... these things. And these are the same. But these are different? I think these are the actual things. Yeah, this looks like an actual tile. So these are just like inexplicably distinct. Yeah, could you imagine if scroll... I did suggest that maybe AI debug was causing the lag, but it was mostly facetious. I don't actually think it is. And we can't speed up the game to realistically test it, right? So it's pretty goofy. All right, well, now I get to show you guys how we can actually do this significantly faster. Oop, that's not what I wanted to do. Now that this is in... Actually, I guess I can just do this, can't I? Take the whole thing. Oh, wait. Well, it's just laid out right here, so that's kind of boneheaded, wasn't it? So we take this whole thing, and it actually lines up because it's a real thing. And then we take these. Well, okay, we take this. We'll do this one by one, because why not? Oh, wait, no, this is the classic, isn't it? Where I have the... There we go. I just can't believe I've had to sit here and do all of this extra junk for seemingly no reason. All right. We have to manually do this one because it's a bit of a mess, but... It's okay. Well, I guess we can just do that, and then... There you go, I think. Whatever, we'll take another look at that one a little bit later, because it is a bit special, but... For anybody who was here watching this whole time, or having this in the background this whole time while I was doing the initial round, you now know how much faster it would have been had Blizzard not special bust the fucking tiles. Lard. Oh, I guess maybe this was actually done by one of those third parties, actually, now that I think about it. This might have been, what is it, Sapphire? The company that they outsourced Brood War to. Pretty hilarious, IMO. Oh, no, what I'm doing right now, George, is just working on custom tiles. I've already done pathfinding optimizations because Blizzard is very bad at that as well. I haven't downloaded it yet. You can revert the commit though, if that's what you're. I guess you shouldn't revert the commit actually, because you should have it still working on your end so that you can, like, troubleshoot, as it were. I think these are fine by comparison. We should be able to. Oh, there it is. Yeah, we should be able to do the same thing here. You know what? I guess what I can do is I can save this the way it is right now, and then I can just. Oh wait, that's the doodads. I can open up a copy, and then we can just switch between the two. It'll be a bit faster. Yeah, this will be pretty good, actually. I can fix the other one, too. Oh, I guess not. Is it not actually right for this? Well, I guess we need to save that one for later anyway, so whatever. What was the issue with GPTP globals in the first place? I guess they just didn't exist back when we were first doing these abilities. And if I had to speculate, I guess we would not have suspected that the oh no, this is actually the same. We'll have to do some correction after this. Pretty wild that this is the state of affairs in the lard camp. I don't know why they just decided to have special bus cliffs. It's so annoying for my methodology here. Just means that I must do a lot of extra work. And it's only for one side, too. Listen, you can't get jaded thinking about what Lard could have done to make an actual game, because then you'll be here all day. It's a lesson I've learned myself. Theoretically, if Blizzard had done a good enough job, or even just released the source code, we wouldn't have to make our own engine, right? We would just update Lards. It wouldn't be Lard, actually. It would be a stunning case of not Lard. But then I guess you are getting in a little bit of a unrealistic territory, huh? Oops. I guess that's fine. But yeah, as you can see, these are actually normal, so we don't have to do nearly as much absurd work. Just now have to do that kind of annoying copy-paste thing, but I'll take that over having to manually adjust for one cliff type. One of the fun or nice things, you just don't have that luxury when they just decide to special bus you. And I have just realized as well that I'm doing the wrong fucking layers. Alright, well, I guess we'll just redo those. Oh, I wonder if I can actually speed this up. We'll use this as a bit of a test. No, doesn't look like it. Well, I guess I can do it in a bit of a different way. Insofar as I can do this, select all of them. And then, whoa. And this is marginally faster in that respect. All right. Now we can take these. And these. Wait, I think those are the same ones. Are they? I guess so. It's just how I, oh yeah, okay. It probably looks better without the red thing. Yeah, what's up, Reagan? Knockout drivers, the stack increase should be in like weapon damage, and then the speed status effect should be in unit speed. But obviously we need to add the stack on hit, so that would be where it's at. Oh wait, let me set this up over here. There probably is a way to make this even faster, but I don't know it. Oops. Yeah, it's not about the views for me, man. I'm just working on some stuff. Might as well throw it public. But I appreciate your support nonetheless. Okay, we've got one more to go, and then we get to move on to... I guess I should do those inner corner tiles before I move on, because I kind of skipped over them. But no real big deal, I don't think. What's up, Mr. Humpher? I think last time I called you Humph F. Maybe we could do D Humph. Oh yeah, I did have a meme asset request for April Fool's DF. It's I basically want, you know, those side cars where you have like a rider, like a passenger seat attached to a motorcycle or something. You know what I'm talking about? I kind of wanted to do something like that where you took like a shrunken version of the vulture and attached it to a vulture. And then I was gonna call that the Terran Homie Mobile. And you could have a garrisonable unit get into the sidecar and shoot it out of it. DF's never mad. That's his welcoming sound. That emoji means I have to go. There. I've done what I'm contractually obligated to do. I'll have to do like a final polish pass? Final polish pass on the stuff below. Yeah, I guess that is the issue, isn't it? Maybe it would have to have two sidecars so that you could garrison on either side. But then I don't know, does become a bit tough, doesn't it? I guess it'll just have to look goofy otherwise. Like it is for an April Fool's thing. So speaking of April Fools, I'm guessing you won't have time to do the Cash World stuff that we were memeing about earlier, but if inspiration struck you, it would be pretty funny. I haven't removed some values. I don't know what that means, but thanks for fixing it, I guess. Pretty sure I got all of the ones related to the bugs you were just reporting or encountering anyway, so. It looks like these are all unique as well, unless... Yeah, I guess they are. It's kind of weird that they have unique left and right facing cliff types, but don't actually, like, mirror the ones that... This is the same thing that they did with flagstones in Twilight tile set, where you actually had completely unique sides, but there were only two per side, so it actually didn't make any sense to not mirror them, because then you have four per side, which is a little bit more serviceable. It's still pretty low in terms of, like, variety. And yeah, DF, if it's something where you'd have to drop everything else, not really much of a point is there. I would say just focus on, like, the desert stuff, I guess. But that would be me just being, like, obviously interested in desert-related things because I'm working on a desert map right now. So make of that what you will. The compound ramp, the north-facing compound ramp will be nice as a placeholder or whatever. Or if you wanted to actually make a push to do a higher quality one. I don't know what you're thinking on that is, but I was kind of assuming that it would be the same thing as the Basilica stuff, where I think maybe I'm actually misremembering this. I believe you said something to the effect of wanting to just remake the Basilica one from scratch, or maybe this was the Temple one in Jungle Tile set. I actually am a little foggy on the details, but that would make some sense given how screwed up those ones are. Can I stream under 1K? I don't know what that means. Yeah, it is flying. Can I stream? Oh, if you have less than 1,000 subscribers, you mean? Yeah. If that's what you're talking about, yeah. I don't think. I think you just need to verify your account or something to stream. And maybe you don't even need to do that anymore. But the barrier is pretty low from what I remember. Like, I have another channel that doesn't have 1,000 subs, and I'm pretty sure I could stream. I just don't on that channel. Actually, it might not be a bad idea to start on that channel, believe it or not. Could, like, restream my stuff. But would also be a bit annoying, so whatever. I did a engine or a project wide search for the value, the timer, and the GPTP ID namespace stuff. I did a project wide search and it only found the stuff in API. So I don't know. I think maybe you botched something on the Git side. Unless you can give me a specific example that I can cross-reference, but I guess it's possible that Visual Studio just didn't work for some reason, because it does do that pretty frequently, actually. Yeah, I think I'll let you be the final judge on that one, because we can't add that many more units to Hydra at this point anyway, and unless somehow we magically get a unit ID extender, so... I'll just omit some of these details. I think it just looks a bit too messy. There we go. I would just Google, like, or web search how to, what do you call it? How to enable streaming on YouTube or something. It's too bad nobody decided to be as good as Mixer was. Actually, it might. Ironically enough, it might actually be that. Like Facebook might have inherited a lot of those features. I don't know. I don't imagine so. I just can't believe that YouTube has so many like playback problems and have taken seemingly no steps to address those issues. You didn't tell me to replace get A's value. You told me to replace send GPTP A's CMD, which is what I did. Why did you have these separated by different things? If it was the same thing. Oh, what an infuriating experience. I've never even used this function in my life, so I don't know why anybody would have since generic time. I guess this was the predecessor to the get generic stuff. Oh, I see what happened here. Yeah, he just didn't tell me to actually change this to begin with. That's what happened. Oh no, I forgot to delete N. Jesus Christ, dude, use some spaces. Oh shit, I actually should be pulling this, shouldn't I? Oh, maybe not? Why can I not actually see the fucking incoming commits? Jesus Christ. What a tool. What a tool. Alright, looks like he wants me to use this. What the fuck? Jesus Christ. Alright, I'll do it this'll be the easy way. Oh wait. Just needed to show me the errors here so that I can run through and resolve them all. Of course, it can't just give it to me normally. I think it was upset about a single space or something. Alright, now I can take a look over here. Actually, is it possible for me to replace this with nothing? Ah, check that out. Fixes some issues. Then I just have to delete some of the, Why does it do this? I'm so confused. Get out of here. Oh. I see. It was actually supposed to be setting it to 0. That's a little bit of a prank. At least this seems to have eased up. I think I got it through most of the junk. Oh, I already did that one, I guess. I don't. That one's fixed, actually. Alright, we'll just try to rebuild it. See what shows up. The surprise programming really caught me off guard here, but I think this should build, so if it does, everything will be great. All right, while we wait for that to resume, we can go back to what we were doing over here very briefly. And then I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break because I am quite ready for that, shall we say. Drank all the water in the universe. You love that, you say?
I agree. It's really cool. I wish Blizzard did that more often.
This is where if Chalks were here, he would just start spamming punch emojis. And it would be appropriate. Yeah. I hear it slightly before you guys, so I always try to do something obscene, and then the subtext is, obviously, they're coming to arrest me for being cringe. Alright. Did we build? How? What's up, Kira? Don't worry, man. I can't understand it either. Appreciate the follow. Listen, don't ever expect that Lard cuts corners in terms of being bad. Pretty sure they're very good at that. So now I just need to rebuild it so that it can yell at me about more issues. I'm guessing I need to include... Oh yeah, this must be related to that issue with the... Wait, what would it even be? I don't know, dude. Take a look at game hooks here. What did he do exactly? Okay, it looks like it was towards Paladin Skyfall. But I don't see where the issue is. So maybe it's not related to this at all? Whatever, we'll just fix the other ones for now. Really don't like when people don't put space bars or spaces in front of their shit. Okay. I'm thinking we need to include globals into build time, and that's what the issue is. Yeah. Okay. That resolves that. Now I think it's just the game hook stuff. Get generic value. Pretty sure that's what it is. Okay. Well, so the Devourer code maybe was also fucked? I don't think so, though. What was even the merge conflict? I don't think I can go back into the history and see what that was, but I'm pretty sure it was just related to this. There was some other stashed, like, upstream stuff, but let's take a look at what I actually changed in this file. It might give me some idea. It's so weird that it doesn't give me any information on as to like where the issue might be. Am I missing like one of these? It looks like I'm just missing a closing brace somewhere. Good luck actually finding where that needs to be though. I'll check all of these. Because what's weird is that it's saying, oh wait, no matching token found, specifically for this one. Okay. That actually does give me some info. It means that wherever the missing brace is, it's down here somewhere. I don't know what this is. The classic. Maybe it's that we're missing a closing brace for this. No, it doesn't look like it. These braces are all over the place, though. So it's not related to Skyfall. Oh. I think it's that. Judging by the indentation. See if it builds now. All right. Beautiful. So that should net us, as Icor was estimating, something like 20 to 30% performance increase overall, and at least in the test map environment, which was already like pretty bad lag-wise. Now we're back to stuff that maybe my brain can understand. At this point, I'm pretty sure we just need to polish these up, and then, yeah, it's just those final bits and pieces down there. I guess those should be easy enough to do, copy-paste style, in terms of copying the mask details. But I could be wrong. It's obviously wrong about the inner pieces, for example, so we'll have to wait and see there. But hopefully no more ridiculous surprises are in store for us. And we still have to do the upper stuff. I forgot about that. All right, well, this is our next target anyway, and then we'll deal with the upper mask, but yeah, when I come back, I'll handle that. For now, you get to take a look at this. BRB. All right, now that I'm back, take a moment to make my sachet. Ooh. Music I'm listening to had a drop as soon as I put my stuff down, so it was almost like I cut it out. Oh yeah, actually, I was thinking recently that I haven't really given classical music a good enough of a shout, and like I know some, like basically the pleb stuff from classical music, like Mozart and like Beethoven and shit, but I should actually throw in and see what I can find for classical music mix. But I don't know if it's legit or not. Let's see. I guess the main issue is saying classical doesn't really narrow things down, right? Because that's more so referring to a time than it is a genre. It was owned by me a day ago, so like yesterday. I have it installed, so holy shit, it's 70 gigabytes. Apparently, you can delete 15 gigabytes of that. Anyway, yeah, it seems like I've got it, so no issue there, potentially. Whoever put this mix together led in with Midnight Sonata, which is pretty like I said, fucking pleb stuff, but I'll take it. I'm still learning. Oh, interesting. Oh, I did have this completely wrong then. Yeah, I won't do that just in the interest of not accidentally fucking everything up. I mean, I'm not gonna say Midnight Sonata is a bad piece. I'm just. It is very well known, so. Oh, wait. I have to do the opposite of this, I just realized. I might reach a similar conclusion, but. I'm personally mostly interested in like the complex stuff. Just because it gives me something to pay attention to, so to speak. But I just haven't actually explored it as a genre, so I figured I might as well. I already did that one, nice. I'm a big believer that music is not necessarily always like this, but I do find that the music that makes the biggest impression and has the biggest amount of power is usually music that has quite a bit of tempo. But maybe that's just an approximation, like maybe that's just, shall we say, yeah, just an approximation of actual power. I'm not sure. Let's take this. Oops. I should have been in this mask. Okay, now we actually have our connection there. No, I guess I just need to do one, right? I wonder if this is actually easier. I imagine it would be. What? Oh. You know what I never understood, by the way, is composers. I don't understand how they work. It always, I'm sure there's a plan there, but I won't lie and say that I know exactly what they mean with every fucking hand movement. I never took orchestra as a kid, so. Or not composer. Wait, is it composer? No, it's like, I forget what the term is. It's whoever's like moving their hands the whole time. Oops. Ah, the conductor of the man train. Yeah, that's what it is. Like, to me, it just does look like completely random fucking flailings. Or not completely random. There does seem to be a purpose. But especially since you need to know what the sheet music is, like, you need to be able to read it. What is even the purpose of the guy who's spamming hand movements? You know what I mean? Yeah, uh, the new Doom stuff actually eviscerates any sound staging it could have. So you remember how I was complaining about how even in the old Doom games you had like a lot of the same noises or whatever? If there are custom noises for some of the enemies, regarding like hit impacts or even footsteps or whatever, you can't ever tell. I'll put it to you that way. Because the music overpowers everything. It does feel like loudness war. The fucking cutscenes really get me too, like cutscenes in Doom. I guess they went even harder with them in Doom Eternal, by the looks of things. Pretty hilarious. Mm. What is this? The fuck? What part of the mask would I even copy for this one? I don't think there's any mask copying that I can do here, man. I think I have to just bite the bullet and do 3 more sets of unique masks for 8 tiles. You know, Bethesda originally wanted no guitars in their music. If you can believe that. Like that was the original request from Bethesda. Is that the music would be devoid of guitars. And I'm not sure if that was because they wanted to avoid a stereotype, or if in fact it was because they wanted to avoid audio readability issues. But if only they had stuck to their guns instead of allowing that that music. Like, I don't mind listening to it for workout music or whatever. Or even, like, fucking background noise while I do programming or something. Like, it's got energy, it's got tempo. It doesn't fit in a fucking game. In no universe does it make any sense. Unless audio readability just doesn't matter in the game. But I don't think there's an example of any game where audio readability is not a necessity. I certainly haven't encountered any game that would fit the bill there. I guess the biggest issue with the soundtrack for me is kind of the same issue that I have with like Blizzard games or whatever, which is that the soundtrack got critical acclaim. It's probably because it's a fun soundtrack to listen to outside of the game, but that doesn't dictate how good it is inside the game, obviously. Like, that's a massive stretch. And I guarantee, like, if you're not an expert, like, this is where actually being an expert, or at least somewhat informed regarding like game design tenets, will actually help you be a better reviewer or critic or analyst or whatever. Because I'm not saying you have to know how to design a really good game or what, or I think that knowledge kind of naturally builds. And obviously there's a bunch of other ephemeral stuff that happen when you're dealing with game design stuff. Insofar as you will pretty much automatically like, things are going to be a lot different when you're responsible for a team or having to negotiate with a budget or whatever. But you can at least, as a critic, point out flaws with a specific process based on its output. You can say, "Oh yeah, you guys fucked up with this." So you may not know exactly what caused that fuck up, but you can still point to it as a fuck up. But yeah, anyway, I feel like if you were informed in terms of like what the audio readability requirements are and what that adds to the experience of playing a game and what is missing when you lack audio readability, then I think just a lot of people would have had a very different take on the soundtrack. I just can't believe, like, the other thing obviously is that this game succeeds because, despite the fact that it has horrendous pacing, all of the pacing issues where the glory kills just slow things down, while also just being a get out of jail free card in many cases for, like, oh, get extra stuff if you glory kill or whatever. Like, I'm opposed to its inclusion in terms of what it accomplishes and like what it intended to accomplish in terms of making it easier for bad players, but also in terms of the downstream consequence of including it, which is the breaking of the pace. I'm opposed to it on all fronts. And I haven't really heard anybody put together any sort of argument in favor of or against. Like, basically, there are no arguments for the glory kills. It's just, isn't it cool that you get to do that to a zombie? Which is obviously like the most pedestrian fucking thing you could say in that sense. Maybe this is a lesson. Maybe acknowledging the people who are supportive of that as like, I don't know, jocks or something. Maybe acknowledging that is a lesson. Maybe it tells us that Bethesda did the marketing very well and selected exactly the correct demographics. All right, now I obviously need to painstakingly glory kills QTEs, yeah. You just push a button. You'll see when I play it soon, DF. Basically, the glory kill stuff is literally just weaken an enemy and then it starts flashing and you push a button to execute them. I know that sounds like impossibly cringe, that's in like a AAA game that has been lauded as being like a revival of old school shooter mechanics and stuff. But that's absolutely what has happened. Yeah, I think old Doom fans are obviously fans of an older game, so it makes sense why they would be a little split because, well, it does take some, like, I don't want to say courage because that does overblow it, but it takes some like awareness and confidence in your own abilities or your own beliefs, I guess, to stand up. Again, I have a bit of a there's a poverty of words here to describe what I'm trying to say, but what I'm alleging here is that given how hyped everything is, like you and I and most of the people in the Frauds Club are not worried about being like controversial or going against the grain with our opinions. Like we generally welcome that in many respects. We're fine like not agreeing with a lot of people. But if, you know, the first time the favorite, you know, one of your favorite franchises gets any attention, comes out and it's bad, but everybody calls it good, like it is going to be a little confused. If you're not already showing a predilection for going against the grain again, then I think it makes perfect sense why people would be like split and kind of confused even. Like, what do I even do? Fallout 76 apologist. I guess that'll probably be another one of those games where it might have start to become borderline passable. Even that would be incredibly unlikely, and it's generous of me to even say that like that is a possibility. But it'll become borderline passable, and then like No Man's Sky, everybody will be like, "Oh my god, it's actually good now, guys! Don't let your bad first impression stop you from checking out this game. It's really good now." I say that having not checked out No Man's Sky, so it could be that that's even correct. But it is a comical thing that happens now where game devs literally finish their game like post-launch. And it takes years and years after the game came out and retailed for a crazy amount of money and hype trains and other cringe aspects of the current industry. It takes them a long time to finish their game. Years and years and years. All the while they make the money. Pretty psychotic. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Fallout 76 follows a similar route, is all I'm saying. I guess Star Citizen is kind of like that, but I don't think that game ever stopped being a scam, so maybe that's not exactly the best comparison. The homie mobile has just driven past my house. Star Citizen? I don't know. I think so. I assumed it was by now. Oh man, I'm only halfway done with this one. And then I've got... Wow, this might take me a while, guys. Unless I can... Yeah, I think these are 3 separate sets. So I've got to do 4 more, and then 8 more, and then 8 more after that. But at least it'll be done. I might actually just go straight to map development after these 4, though, because I'm not crazy about... Wait, what time is it anyway? Oh. Actually, I don't really have that much time to do much of anything. Yeah, I'm sure at least a couple of those made some people some money. But that is like a get-rich-quick scheme, like a pump and dump or whatever. I think by definition, even. I guess it's just as well that I don't have that much time because my wrist is starting to cramp anyway, so. I feel like MMOs are another one of those like dead genres or dead end genres where there's no experience really worth having in those games, but at least it's nothing the game itself offers that creates the experience. It's just a game you can play while socializing with people. Again, though, game is like a very generous term, especially for something like World of Warcraft. All right, last one of the day. I'd rather go meet new people in a library. I think real world interactions are where it's at, to be honest. I don't imagine, like. I mean, I've met a ton of people, including, like, I don't think I've. Yeah, I don't think there's a single person besides Patrick, who's not even really active in the server, that I've met in real life. So. Yeah, I would have to say, like, it sounds a little weird for me to say that, like, real life interactions are where it's at, but I'll tell you, like, don't think I would have a second thoughts about a frauds club night out at the bar meetup or something. Like, pretty sure I could just, we could all hang out and talk shit for a while. as mates, chums. And that would be a pretty fun, like, experience. And probably a better dynamic than what the internet and the pandemic has sort of enforced for most people. But I guess that's neither here nor there. There are some similarities here, but obviously the bases are different. I think this is for blending with inner corners. Yeah, that's what that looks like. But I'm wondering what this is. I guess this is for blending with the inner corner on the southern side, while this is for inner corner on the upper side, the north side. All right. That's at least understandable. But yeah, I think we're looking pretty good. Obviously, we've taken care of the upper masking so that the tile on the lower side is actually visible now in those sections, which is something I forgot that I had to do. So this will be a cakewalk to do in my next stream or later today while I'm sitting here working on some other stuff. So I will take it. Quite happy with that. So. Yeah, we have to have like I don't know. There should be some meetup of some kind, but I guess real quick I'll try to make use of the I'll try to see if I can verify that things are working in here. I don't know what this timer decrease stuff is, but I guess this is for testing like responsivity or something. All right, whatever. I'll just leave that for later. Or no, he was probably debugging some actual timers in the game. I don't know what they would be though. All right, I got a little bit of time here, so maybe we'll use this opportunity to briefly take a peek at some of the. Oh, I actually have to install Go, don't I? You. And I guess I will go for the... Actually, where are the... I guess they're just this. Did I miss something? Okay. All right, now I should be able to open folder. What? Oh, I don't know what that means, but I think with this, I should actually be able to look at some of this stuff. Gopher, oh man. Isn't there some like learn Go language? Let's see what we can find. Yeah, I have this. Oh yeah, this is, I guess, what I was thinking of. Whoa, what is this? Wow, reasonable. Yeah, this seems like something I should just do off stream or something like that. I'll have to ask Veek what he recommends for actually learning from the ground up, because there's Go is probably designed with not necessarily learning programming from scratch in mind. Not that I necessarily need to go all the way back to the basics, but it is something that I should probably think about. I guess another thing I can do here is... What's up, Balethal? Lethal. All right. I was just commenting that at some point I should figure out what I want to do in terms of actually learning this Go language. But I don't know if their guide is going to be geared towards beginners or geared like of programming in general or just beginners in terms of Go. I would imagine the latter because I don't imagine most people would be thinking of starting their programming journey with Go. So we'll see how much I can actually grasp, but it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Hey, you can't punch, especially not Balethal. So we didn't end up doing any engine development today, but I got some work done on the custom tiles and stuff. Let me actually verify that. The fuck? Here we go. What's up, Ponky? Oh, it was a fist bump. I like that. No, I didn't just start programming, but I haven't made it like a massive push. And since I'm starting to work on a custom engine, it seems like a good time to really dig deep and like focus on that stuff. But this is going to be for an RTS engine. I guess I should actually throw up my my custom command to link to this page. Delete this. I guess we can delete that as well. Oh, we should change this. Not my first project. I've been working with programming for a while for this Brood War total conversion. Or I guess it's not really a total conversion, but it's a pretty massive change. It basically has, if you're not familiar with Hydra, it's essentially, it's got like, I think we're above 60 new units that are currently implemented with a lot more planned, but we are running into the actual unit limit. So yeah, it's pretty large in scope. And we're getting to the point where we're doing as much as we can in the environment of StarCraft, and we need a new engine to actually go any further, or significantly further, which is why we're building the new engine in the first place. Because it would be too much to more or less suffer through the all of the things we have to do to make what we want to make within the very dated and non-open source StarCraft engine. So it will be my first thing within Go. That's why I have to at some point take a look at actually learning that language. But it seems for our purposes, it's going to be pretty useful. We're not making a 3D RTS because there's no reason to be 3D. It just ruins readability most of the time. So yeah, we got a couple of developers on the cards. We have iQuare, Veek, some other people who are actually credited in here. Balathal's in the chat as well. Expressed interest in popping in and getting some work done. So it's not exactly a one-man task. In fact, most of the programming so far has not even been done by me. But I have been more or less fleshing this stuff out. We worked on the data structures yesterday. So yeah. The main idea is to produce an open source RTS engine that actually performs well, but it will obviously be targeted for 2D stuff. So I don't suppose it'll be too universal. We're really just making the tools that we need to make the content we want to make. We're not exactly like all known as tool devs. It's really just about like we all want to make large scale RTS content with like, you know, thousands of units per player and having like up to maybe 128 players or some crazy number. Like just remove all the limits and see what kind of content we can make in that environment. And no environment like that exists, so we have to make the environment first, then we can actually make the content. So it will be a bit of a it'll certainly be a challenge in that respect. But I actually think we stand a pretty good chance of getting at least initial graphics integration via Raylib implemented before. I guess I should actually download Raylib. Implemented before the when was the last? Oh, it was 22 days ago. So I guess we should actually just clone this instead of. All right. But yeah, I think we stand a pretty good chance before the end of this week of getting initial graphics integration, and at that point, like that was one of the bigger challenges initially. But it seems Raylib will be the tool for the task in terms of integrating with OpenGL. So. The goal, ideally, is to actually finally be able to have massive scale stuff. Like, here, I'll just reset my exe here. If it even works. What a disaster. I just don't understand why this GitHub program has to. There's so many compromises we make. We'll need a custom Git tool at this point. All right, download this. So, there we go. See if we get any issues as time goes on. We basically wanted to, like, my vision for this project initially when I was just working on it more or less by myself was to significantly overhaul the way that the scale of the game. Yeah, man mode. And try to get us to a point where we can see like individual players running at like 10 bases or whatever. But there's so much that's working against us in StarCraft. There's the in-game unit limit and bullet limit and all of those things. There's the out-of-game like data structure limit for how many unique unit entries you even have. It's not like other games where you can just add indefinite numbers, like in Command and Conquer or whatever. You can just add a text file and it'll be working in that respect. And there's also stuff like AI hard code where Blizzard never intended the AI to ever be competitive. So I've been trying to like make the AI actually work correctly, and that's been its own challenge. Although I would say I've been more or less successful in that respect. Like, don't think that's been a bit of anything in terms of an issue. Yeah, it's just one of those things where pretty much everybody who's assisted me with this project, like, this is obviously a stupid thing. Why do they build it away from the resources? Like, we could manually tell them to do that, but not in a melee context where they need to be able to adapt to any map. Like, that's a very small issue, but it does reduce their efficiency pretty obviously. So it's like basically the AI is a god at like macro, but they suck on micro level decision making in terms of like where to allocate their units, how to actually use their units in the middle of battle. And any tweaks that I've made to try to improve that have not ended exactly perfectly, shall we say. Actually, looks like this AI might just get absolutely destroyed by 4 Marines, or Mavericks as they are now, because he didn't bother building any sunken colonies. Yeah, they can usually hold their own without too much of an issue. Obviously not the case here for whatever reason. This guy just fucked around too much. It's probably one of those issues where like I have to improve the specific build order. But yeah, like the biggest issue that I see with this is just how inflexible the engine itself is and how aggressively you have to work just to have a shot at producing something reasonable. Like, I could right now put all of my effort into using what we have in this moment to produce the hands down best campaign that the game has ever seen, but it still would be kind of hollow for me because like it's not nearly as good as what I want it to be. Like, I don't have nearly as much as I want to have. So like there's still some very clear deficiencies in terms of like what I want. So it doesn't even really matter that it would be hands down better than anything anybody else had seen. So that's kind of the rub we're in. And I just want to I'm curious myself and excited in a sense, obviously, that I want to be able to see what I would be capable of producing if I were in a position such as like if I didn't have the sort of limitations, right? But I guess in some ways there will always be limitations. Like right now, another pretty mega limitation is artwork. Like, what is this guy doing? This specifically was supposed to have been fixed, but I guess he just gave up. Brutalized ammo. So yeah, that's just something that has to be resolved later, I guess. But we'll see. We'll see how the engine shapes up. Anyway, that tangent aside, I'm going to go ahead and can the stream here. I will be in touch to get some more work done. I don't know about today. I don't know if I have anything planned for today. But I will probably... I'll be back tomorrow. I think I can commit to that. So stay tuned for more stuff. Give it a follow or a sub or whatever, if you haven't already. And I'll catch you very soon. Yeah. That's fair enough as well, Balethal. We'll have to see what I can actually end up producing. It might just end up being map craps, but they'll be damn good map craps.